I'ma fuck the summer up.
What is going on? Ask a Millennial. We're back. I know it's been forever and I do apologize. It has literally been 4.5 months, almost 5 months since we've uploaded anything on this page, on this channel. I apologize. So much has been going on, but we are making a comeback. And I know you're tired of us, me, coming back and saying we're making a comeback and then never actually being consistent. I am working on that and getting better. Like, I'm literally going to be making a schedule so there can be content on a more consecutive basis. But what I want to talk about today real quick is millennials and job hopping. You know, there's this stereotype and assumption that millennials job hop. And some of it's true. You know, some of us job hop. I personally job hop. I hop, you know, since I graduated last year with my master's, I've had 4 jobs since September 2017. 4 jobs. And wow, all 4 of them were with nonprofit, nonpartisan organizations, grant funded, grant ran and operated. And just based off of that, I see a lot of pros and cons. And like, just looking at, you know, it hasn't even been a full year and I've had 4 jobs. And I think some of the reasons why people in the millennial generation job hop is, number one, pay. A lot of these jobs, especially in the nonprofit, nonpartisan, grant-funded industry, they do not pay well. And, you know, a lot of us millennials are coming out of college with massive student loans, student loan debt. And we need to be making a certain amount of money if we're even going to be able to pay other bills, pay off our student loans, and actually live. And $33,000 a year, $40,000 a year, even $60,000 a year is no longer a suitable wage or salary, because you have to think about the big scheme of things. Like, I personally owe $45,000 in student loan debt. I'm going to need to be making over $45,000 a year to actually pay my student loan debt off. Now, you're probably thinking, but $60,000 is a lot of money. Again, when you owe $45,000, $60,000 is not a lot of money. And then also, that's $60,000 before taxes. Once taxes are removed, that $60,000 a year job quickly turns to $50,000, $45,000, which is nothing when you owe $45,000 in student loans. And that's why it's like, also, not only the pay, the environment, you know, of the job. I'm sorry, but we didn't go and spend years in college and, you know, to sit up and be working somewhere that's toxic and abusive. I'm just, you know, millennials, we know our worth. You know, we know our work, we know the value we bring to organizations, to companies, to businesses, and we're not going to be putting up with horrible bosses. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, like, the job that I just left, literally 2 days ago, on the 28th, I left because the way it was ran. I mean, there was no organization, no structure. You know, there was a lot of lying and, you know, telling people they were going to be salaried and we were still hourly, telling folks they were going to have health insurance and benefits that never existed. I was there for 3 months and this was going on. And then all kinds of, a lot of miscommunication and just horrible structure. Just wasn't a good environment at all. Then on top of that, at another job that I had, number 3, work hours and like family life and personal time and how do you balance that. I was at my previous job, before the job that I just left, I was working 60+ hours a week, every week, on a consecutive basis. That is not healthy. That is not okay. And then I was only being paid for 40 hours, even though I was putting in an additional 20 plus hours a week. And it's ridiculous. Like, no, I don't want to be driving all over the state every single day. I don't want to be working 60 plus hours a week. I want to have time to actually sleep, rest, see my family, see my friends, hang out. There should be a good balance there. And they basically want people to work like slaves for pennies on the dollar. And it's just not cool, it's not right, and we shouldn't have to do that. And those are just a few reasons why I personally feel that millennials job hop. Another reason is that you want to be able to find a job that not only fulfills you, but pays you well, treats you with dignity and respect, and there's room for upward mobility. There's room for promotions and progression. And it takes time to find those types of jobs because unfortunately, in our current climate, a lot of employers are pretty much dictators who they either don't want to pay their employees a living wage, a living salary, they overwork you. Again, we should only be working 40 hours a week. We should not be working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. We shouldn't be doing that, okay? It's just ridiculous. And I think another thing is for millennials and for people in general, when you're finding yourself, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to have to realize, you know what, this wasn't a good decision. And I'm noticing for myself, a lot of the jobs that I've had, the 4 jobs that I've had since graduating with my master's degree have not been good fits for me. Or I wasn't in the space to be at that position at that point in time. And I'm noticing that. And then too, I'm gonna be going back to school to get my law degree. I will be pursuing a Juris Doctorate. So just looking at that and then looking at my experiences as a community organizer, activist, political organizer, looking at my skills in marketing and promotion, putting together trainings and whatnot, and my video production work. I need to go into a field that's actually lined up with my passions, my education experiences, and my work experiences. And that's something that a lot of millennials are seeing is that, your job, your career should be more than just paying bills. You should actually like what you do. And you should be fulfilled in what you're doing. So yeah, we're bringing a totally different quality to what it means to be an employee, an employer, and what liberation is. So this video is getting long, but that was just like some of the reasons that I see and that I've dealt with personally when it comes to being a millennial who is job hopping. And also to close this out, no shade or disrespect to older generations, but what I've noticed when I look at my grandmother's generation, the baby boomer generation, a lot of you stayed working for places that you hated for 30 and 40 years so you could retire to be on a fixed income. And I personally don't want to waste 3 to 4 decades of my life working for someone that I hate just to pay bills. So that's the big difference to me. Anyways, if you enjoyed this commentary, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to Ask a Millennial, hit that notification bell, leave comments below, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Ask a Millennial. Links are in the description box below. Deuces.